Want to learn 2 hours of amazing facts? Subscribe and let's start. The Titan beetle stands out as one of the largest insects in existence, reaching up to 6.7 inches in length. Although it has wings, its ability to fly is limited, so it usually climbs trees before taking off. Curiously, in its adult stage, it does not feed, since its only purpose is to reproduce. Its imposing body and intimidating appearance make it a truly impressive creature. Only the Pope has the exclusive privilege of wearing deep red shoes. This distinctive footwear symbolizes the bloodshed by Christian martyrs throughout history, reminding believers of their sacrifice and unbreakable faith. The tradition of the papal red shoe is a visual manifestation of respect and connection with those who gave their lives for their beliefs. A surprising look into the hidden world of human pups, men who dress and act like dogs. This secret subculture blends roleplay, affection, and personal expression. For many, it is not just about costumes, but a way to release tension and connect emotionally. Eris is a small borzoi dog known for having the longest snout ever recorded in the world, reaching nearly 12.2 inches in length. Despite this unusual feature, veterinarians confirm that her teeth are in perfect condition. Although her snout is exceptionally long, she has not suffered serious illnesses related to it. The Anguloa uniflora, popularly known as the baby cradle orchid, stands out for the peculiar shape of its flowers, which resemble a smiling child being cradled. This species has its natural habitat in the high mountain ranges of South America, with a notable presence in countries such as Peru. Beyond its unique floral design, this orchid is also appreciated for the soft and pleasant fragrance it emits. Tonki is a charming Shar-Pei dog who has captured the attention of thousands of people on the internet due to her unusually cute appearance. Her wrinkled face, droopy ears, and sweet expression make many compare her to a living plush toy. From her first months of life, her photos began circulating on social media, where she quickly went viral. Romania is home to one of the largest concentrations of wildlife in Europe, and among its dense forests and mountains lies the continent's largest population of brown bears. It is estimated that around 6,000 brown bears live there, a significantly high number compared to other European countries. And this abundance has created a complex challenge for authorities. Made in Spain, the Osby Geo is a foldable electric bicycle that represents a new generation of sustainable urban transportation. Its smart design allows it to fold quickly and easily in a single motion, making it an ideal option for people who move around the city and need to combine different modes of transport. Beyond its functionality, what truly sets it apart is its ecological focus. Arbab Khizer Hayat has captured global attention due to his imposing physique and extraordinary strength demonstrations. This man, originally from Pakistan, stands about 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighs an astonishing 959 pounds, making him a truly colossal figure. His fame comes not only from his size, but also from striking feats, such as dragging a moving tractor. And also, can you imagine dining more than 164 feet above the ground? At Dinner in the Sky, it is possible. Originating in Belgium, this unique restaurant has more than 30 locations around the world. While enjoying an exquisite meal prepared by renowned chefs, you can admire a panoramic view for 45 minutes. All of this comes at a price that varies depending on the location and selected menu. We present Diminish and Ascend, an impressive infinite staircase sculpture created by artist David McCracken. This work is a true optical illusion, since from certain angles it appears to be an endless staircase stretching toward the sky. Measuring 31.2 feet in length and nearly 16.4 feet in height, it is permanently installed in the Christchurch Botanic Gardens in New Zealand. The shark-shaped underwater jet ski represents a revolutionary aquatic machine created to deliver a one-of-a-kind adventure. Its aerodynamic design mimics the silhouette of a shark, merging the speed and maneuverability of a jet ski with the ability to dive like a small submarine. This combination allows users to move both on the surface and underwater, exploring the marine environment from different perspectives. Simon Beck, originally from the United Kingdom, creates gigantic designs on snow using only his feet in special snowshoes. For hours, he meticulously walks to form geometric figures and fractals of enormous precision that can only be fully appreciated from the air. In the northeast corner of China lies an astonishing place, the Red Beach of Panchen. This surreal landscape is part of the wetlands of the Liaohe Bay Ecological Reserve, and its striking appearance is due to a unique plant known as sueta salsa. This vegetation, adapted to salty and muddy soils, dyes the land an intense red that reaches its full brilliance when autumn arrives. On January 18, 2024, a certified drone captured from the sky how an aerial saw pilot trims trees near power lines. With surgical precision, the aircraft glides through the foliage, cutting branches that threaten safety. The name Rocco Mercurio stands out in the Guinness Book for his incredible skill at balancing poker chips. On May 15, 2023, in the Italian city of Villa San Giovanni, he achieved a surprising feat. He balanced 255 chips on a single finger, thus setting a new world record. This extraordinary talent is no coincidence, as Rocco has earned recognition for his ability to maintain balance in various challenges. Japanese athlete Kurado Itaka broke an impressive Guinness record by performing 8 rope rotations during a single jump. This feat, achieved on July 17, 2023 in the city of Yamaguchi, demanded exceptional coordination and speed. The achievement positions him as a global reference in high-speed jump rope. His skill left judges and spectators equally amazed. In Italy, a unique competition is held every year in which teams build boats made of cardboard to compete in a water race. The main goal is to travel the greatest possible distance without the boat sinking along the way. In addition to speed and endurance, creativity is also recognized, with awards for the most innovative and eye-catching design. McLaren made history at the Qatar Grand Prix 2023 by completing the fastest pit stop ever recorded in Formula One, just 1.80 seconds. In that moment, 20 mechanics worked like a Swiss watch to change the tires on Lando Norris's car after his second stint at the Losail circuit. Imagine being allergic to water, even to your own tears. That is the reality of Tessa Hansen-Smith, who lives with aquagenic urticaria, a rare condition that causes her skin to break out in painful rashes upon contact with water. Showering is such a major challenge that she only does it twice a month, since simply getting wet causes fever, migraines, and even tongue injuries if she drinks water. She cannot cry, and sweating is pure torment. Meet Brian Berg, the ace of cards, recognized as the best card stacker in the world. This incredible talent has built impressive mansions and other large-scale structures using only playing cards, taking his art to levels never before imagined. He has worked with giants such as Disney World, Lexus, and various sports leagues, leaving his mark on iconic projects. In 1992, at 17 years old, Berg broke the world record by building the tallest house of cards in the world, reaching a height of 14.4 feet. Hiroshi Ishiguro, a Japanese innovator, has created robots with artificial intelligence and a human appearance so realistic that they seem straight out of a science fiction movie. His attention to detail is astonishing, from facial expressions to the smallest gestures, making his machines almost indistinguishable from real people. His most fascinating robot, Geminoid HI-1, is an exact replica of himself, taking the concept of robotics to a completely new level. Antonio Romero Montero is recognized worldwide for holding the largest video game collection on the planet, an achievement certified by Guinness World Records. His impressive repertoire exceeds 24,000 titles, covering a vast diversity of consoles and generations. This passion began when he was just 10 years old, in 1987, And since then, he has steadily accumulated each piece with dedication and care to form a one-of-a-kind archive. Afshin Esmail Ghaderzadeh is a young Iranian man with a height of just 25.7 inches. He was recognized as the shortest living man in the world by Guinness World Records. In addition to his stature, he has the smallest hands ever officially recorded. His condition is extremely rare and unique. Despite his height, his story has traveled around the world. If Dr. Seuss had designed an ecosystem, it would be Socotra. This remote island in the Indian Ocean has more than 700 unique species, including the famous dragonblood tree, which looks like a giant umbrella turned upside down. The plants, rocks, and formations seem from another planet, which is why Socotra has been described as the most alien place on Earth. Imagine a forest, but made entirely of sharp stone. That is Chingi de Bimaraha, a range of limestone spikes so sharp they cut hikers' shoes if they step the wrong way. Despite its brutal geography, the place is full of unique species, and the rays of light that slip through the cracks create a hypnotic and surreal landscape. In the middle of the Tian Shan Mountains, an earthquake formed a natural dam that flooded an entire forest. Today, Lake Kindy is a visual spectacle. Spruce trunks rise from the turquoise water like frozen specters from another world. What is incredible is that underwater, the branches are perfectly preserved, giving the impression of an intact underwater forest. They call it the door to hell, and when you see it, you understand why. In the middle of the Karakum Desert, there is a crater 226 feet in diameter that has been burning nonstop since 1971. It was ignited by Soviet scientists to prevent the release of methane gas, and it simply never went out. Today it burns with hypnotic orange flames, like an underworld furnace lighting up the night. In 2014, Ghanaian soccer player Mohamed Anas made a huge mistake during a post-match interview. He said, "I want to thank my girlfriend and also my wife for always supporting me." And just like that, in less than 5 seconds, he invented the emotional own goal. Now he has searched for more in the VAR of love than in the one for soccer. A star on the field, but a bench warmer at excuses. Also called the Love Beach, this place is located inside a submerged crater, hidden in one of the Marianas Islands. It can only be accessed by swimming through an underwater tunnel, and when you emerge, you find a white sand beach completely surrounded by rocky walls, with an opening to the sky. It was formed by military explosions decades ago, but today it is one of the most magical and protected landscapes in the Pacific. In a remote temple in Thailand, there is a rock known as Hin Sam Wan, or the whale rock, which appears to float over emptiness. The structure weighs thousands of tons and rests on a tiny contact point. Engineers assure that according to the laws of weight and balance, that rock should have fallen centuries ago. Inside a small waterfall in New York, there is a flame that never goes out. Yes, in the middle of the water, an invisible force keeps a flame alive. It was thought to be a simple natural gas leak, and until geologists determined that the rock in that area does not produce enough gas to keep a flame burning. Javier is a Spanish actor, but also one of the most flexible bodies in the world. He has Marfan syndrome, a genetic condition that lengthens his limbs, increases joint flexibility, and allows him to move like an impossible creature. Thanks to this, he has portrayed monsters in movies such as Wreck, It, and The Curse of La Llorona, without the need for digital effects. Conchetta has tetrachromacy, a genetic condition that gives her a fourth visual cone, meaning she can distinguish up to 99 million colors, while the average human can only distinguish 1 million. She sees color shades where others only see gray or white. On top of that, she is a professional painter, which makes her a kind of living HD camera. This Japanese man is a modern master of the art of the katana, but not just any master. He cuts real bullets in midair. Yes, with a sword and at speeds impossible for the human eye to perceive. His reflexes are as sharp as his katana, and he has been studied by scientific programs that confirm his perception of time is faster than average. This American ultramarathon runner has something scientists still cannot fully explain. He can run hundreds of miles without showing normal signs of muscle fatigue. In 2005, he ran 348 miles in just 80 hours without stopping to sleep. His body appears to have a genetic mutation that removes lactic acid more quickly, the substance that normally causes muscles to burn when overexerted. Neil was born with achromatopsia, a condition that prevents him from seeing colors. But he created a device called the iBorg implanted in his skull, which converts colors into sound frequencies. Now he literally hears the color of the world. And that is not all. Since hearing goes beyond the human visual spectrum, he can hear colors such as ultraviolet and infrared. Kim Peek was the inspiration behind the movie Rain Man, but his ability was even more astonishing than fiction. He could read 2 pages at the same time, one with each eye, and memorize 98% of what he read. He remembered in detail more than 12,000 books, entire calendars spanning centuries, maps, musical scores, and historical data, all without taking notes. After a fever in 1973, this Vietnamese farmer completely lost the ability to sleep. What is incredible is that according to local medical reports, he has not slept a single second in more than 50 years and remains perfectly healthy. Scientists tried to study him, but found no cognitive damage, memory loss, or chronic fatigue. Have you heard of the Belgian blue cow? This cattle breed is famous for its impressive musculature, which gives it a unique and powerful appearance. Its extreme muscle development is due to a genetic mutation that inhibits the production of myostatin, the protein responsible for regulating muscle growth. As a result, these animals naturally develop large and well-defined muscles. Male giraffes have a peculiar behavior during their mating ritual, in which they repeatedly hit the back of the females with their heads until the females urinate. The male then tastes the urine to detect signs of ovulation and determine the best time for reproduction. This ritual is essential for mate selection, as it allows them to assess the fertility of the female. The fainting goat is the animal that freezes from fear, literally. There is a breed of goat so strange that when they get scared, they faint and fall to the ground, stiff like statues. The reason is a genetic condition called myotonia congenita, which causes their muscles to contract suddenly when frightened. It does not cause them pain, but the effect is so ridiculous that they look like soap opera actresses exaggerating a tragic death. No, it is not CGI. This deep sea fish has the top of its head completely transparent, and inside it, 2 green tube-shaped eyes that rotate within the skull. It can look upward, forward, and backward from inside its own head. Its eyes are protected by a gelatinous dome, while allowing it to survive the pressure of the deep sea. Did you know that the actor who has earned the most money from a single movie is Tom Cruise? This happened thanks to Top Gun Maverick, released in 2022. In addition to being the highest-grossing film of his career, Tom received an upfront payment of $14 million and a share of the movie's profits. It is estimated that he earned more than $100 million from the total box office, which reached $1,493 million worldwide. A well-known YouTuber from the channel Action Lab covered his car with Vanta Black, a material that absorbs almost all visible light, capturing up to 99% of it. At night, the car becomes nearly invisible to the naked eye due to its ability to absorb incoming light. Vanta Black challenges traditional ideas of color, as it seems to create a visual void, making coated surfaces appear to disappear. It does not need arrows or guns. The archerfish has a sniper-worthy technique. It shoots jets of water from its mouth to knock insects off branches more than 6.6 feet away. This fish, which lives in Southeast Asian mangroves, calculates the angle, light refraction in water, and the distance to its target, then spits with enough force to knock its prey out of the air. It is not invisible, but almost. The glass squid lives in deep waters, and its body is so transparent that it looks like it is made of alien gelatin. Only its digestive system and its huge bulging eyes are visible, floating in nothingness. This species relies on its invisibility to avoid predators. It lives in the mesopelagic zone of the ocean, where very little light reaches. In an amateur tournament in Colombia, the referee had to suspend a match because a goat invaded the field and refused to leave. Attempts to remove it lasted more than 30 minutes. Desperate players even tried offering it fruit. The best part is that the goat wandered around the penalty area as if it were the starting goalkeeper. The referee wrote in his report, "The match could not continue due to the presence of stubborn wildlife." Finding Nemo was released in 2003, but in Monsters, Inc. from 2001, there is a scene where Boo shows Sully a drawing of an orange and white fish that is identical to Nemo. How is that possible? Because Pixar already had the movie in production and decided to include a very early Easter egg. The craziest part is that this scene turned Boo into the time-traveling girl within the Pixar theory, because yes, she also appears in other movies. The movie that redefined animated cinema, Shrek, was rejected by almost all major studios. Nobody wanted to make a movie with an ugly ogre, edgy jokes, and pop songs. Disney even rejected it because they considered it too grotesque and vulgar. DreamWorks was the one that took the risk. Not only was it a success, it won the first Academy Award in history for Best Animated Feature, defeating Monsters, Inc. In the mountainous region of Abkhazia, Georgia, lies the astonishing Veryovkina Cave, the deepest known cave on the planet so far. This underground wonder descends to 7,257 feet, plunging into the depths of the earth like no other place in the world. Exploring its dark passages represents an extreme challenge for speleologists and adventurers. The airport located on the island of St. Barthélemy stands out for having one of the most challenging landing zones on the planet. With just 2,132 feet of sloped runway ending right at the edge of St. John Beach, this place demands pinpoint precision from pilots. Aircraft must perform controlled maneuvers, descending at very low altitude over houses and busy roads before touching down. Geese, like many winged species, completely lack teeth. Instead, they have an adapted beak that helps them capture and tear food without the need to chew. This natural tool is designed for specific functions, such as cutting grass or filtering water. Although they do not bite like mammals, their beak can be surprisingly effective and even intimidating. In Colombia, there is a river that looks like it came out of a fairy tale due to its spectacular display of colors, known as Cano Cristales. This body of water stands out for showing up to 5 different tones, earning it the nickname Liquid Rainbow. The color variety is due to unique algae and aquatic plants that thrive on its riverbed and change color depending on the season and environmental conditions. In 2004, Maura Murray, a college student, had a minor car accident in New Hampshire. She refused help from a witness, and when police arrived minutes later, she was gone. There were no footprints, no traces, and no signs of struggle. To this day, it is unknown whether she ran away, was abducted, or murdered. Her case is one of the most debated in true crime forums. In 1893, Jack Burke and Andy Bowen starred in the longest boxing match in history. It lasted 110 rounds in 7 hours and 19 minutes without stopping. There was no round limit. The fight would only end when someone was knocked out. The result was a draw. Both were still standing, staggering but alive. Burke fractured both arms. Bowen could not speak or walk properly for days, but neither of them agreed to quit. Hisao Mitani, a unique Japanese man, has become famous for walking the streets of Tokyo, accompanied by his African tortoise named Bon-chan. This tortoise, now over 26 years old, impresses with its size and weight, reaching 154 pounds. The unusual pair often draws the attention of passers-by and tourists. Mitani has turned these walks into a routine that reflects a special bond between human and animal. The tallest statue on the planet is the Statue of Unity, located in India. Inaugurated in 2018, its total height reaches 597 feet, including the base on which it stands. This imposing work honors Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, a key figure in the country's post-independence history. Its design and dimensions make it a national symbol of unity and strength. The Oxybelus fulgidus is recognized as the thinnest snake in the world, standing out for its extremely slender and elegant body. Native to Central America and northern South America, it has even attracted interest in India. This species barely reaches a thickness of 0.8 inches, although it can extend up to 4.9 feet in length. Its fragile appearance contrasts with its agility and ability to move through vegetation. Emma Gibson was born in 2017, but her story began much earlier. Her embryo had been frozen for 25 years since 1992, marking an incredible record. Through in vitro fertilization, doctors extracted and fertilized the egg, froze it in a protective solution, and decades later implanted it in her mother, Tina. The result was a healthy baby girl, weighing 6 pounds and standing 20 inches tall, who technically could have been born in the 1990s. Shaped like a giant whisk standing 29.5 feet tall, this fountain has an impressive capacity of 2,642 gallons of chocolate. The mixture flows at a speed of 2.2 pounds per second, making it a true marvel that draws every eye. Hyams Beach, located in the picturesque Jervis Bay in Australia, is famous for having the whitest sand on the planet, an official recognition backed by a Guinness record. The stunning whiteness of its beach is no coincidence, but the result of sand composed mostly of tiny grains of pure quartz that reflects sunlight with exceptional brightness. In the Parana Delta, located in Argentina, there is an enigmatic natural formation that has captured many people's attention, an island known as the Eye. What makes it truly unique is its almost perfectly round shape, which sets it apart from other irregular islands. Even more surprising is the way it appears to slowly move through the water, as if it were floating and navigating on its own. Have you ever imagined seeing a mountain range that looks like it was painted with watercolors? That exists in China, the Dangxia formations, where minerals and erosion created layers of red, yellow, blue, and orange that cover the mountains like a psychedelic cake. It looks like a badly calibrated video game render, but it is 100% real, no filters. Climbing Mount Dangxia is like ascending a staircase to the sky. Its steps, carved into nearly vertical rock, challenge both vertigo and gravity. This impressive geological formation in China is not only a physical challenge, but a unique visual spectacle. Every step offers breathtaking views, and not just because of the effort. In 2020, the Greek government declared Tom Hanks an honorary citizen, but that is not the craziest part. He was also classified as a protected cultural resource, almost like a living heritage site. The reason is that Hanks helped fund and promote humanitarian actions after devastating wildfires in Greece. And on top of that, he loves the country so much that he owns homes on several islands. When he was offered the role of Hannibal Lecter, Hopkins received a script of more than 130 pages. He read it once, and the very next day he already knew it word for word. Not only that, he corrected other actors during rehearsals because he also remembered their lines. Director Jonathan Demme was so impressed that he said he had never worked with someone who could learn a script as if it were a poem. During the filming of Fury, Shia LaBeouf was so committed to his character that he pulled out a tooth with pliers without anesthesia because the script said the soldier had to have a broken tooth. As if that were not enough, he also made real cuts on his face because he did not trust makeup. The production eventually separated him from the rest of the cast because they no longer knew whether he was acting or losing his mind. In Armor of God, Jackie Chan performed a scene where he jumped from a tree to a wall, but he landed badly and fractured his skull. Part of his bone pierced his brain, and he had to undergo emergency surgery. What is most incredible is that he returned to the set weeks later and completed the scene. To this day, he still has a metal plate in his skull, and even so, he insists on doing all his stunts without doubles. It is called Baseport Lockroy, and it is a former British station turned into a museum and a post office. Yes, you read that right. a post office in the middle of the ice. Every year, thousands of tourists who dare to get there send postcards with unique Antarctic stamps. But the craziest part is that the penguins that live there have priority over humans. If one blocks the entrance, you have to wait. In 1911, explorer Robert Falcon Scott left a cabin stocked with all kinds of supplies before heading toward the South Pole. He died in the attempt, but the cabin remained, and to this day the food is still there, frozen and in perfect condition. There are cans of biscuits, preserved meat, chocolate, and even toothpaste, all preserved by the extreme cold. Mount Erebus is one of the southernmost volcanoes in the world, and it is active. What is even more incredible is that there is evidence of dozens of more volcanoes beneath the Antarctic ice. The geothermal heat from these subglacial volcanoes could be melting the base of the ice sheets from below, something that worries scientists because it could accelerate glacial collapse and change sea levels across the planet. No snake, lizard, or crocodile lives in Antarctica. Zero reptiles. And it is not just because of the cold. Even fossils indicate that these animals never managed to establish themselves there, not even during warmer periods of geological history. This makes Antarctica the only continent on the planet completely free of reptiles. In Lake Mercer, a subglacial lake drilled in 2019, scientists extracted water containing living bacteria that had been frozen for more than 10,000 years. The shocking part is that they revived and reproduced in the laboratory, proving that life can enter total hibernation for millennia and then return as if nothing happened. This discovery has direct implications for the search for life on Mars or Europa. It is called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, and it is one of the most disturbing organisms in existence. This fungus infects an ant, travels to its brain, and takes total control of its body. It forces the ant to climb a leaf, bite it, and stay there until it dies. Then the fungus sprouts from its skull and spreads its spores to new victims. Allow me to introduce the fascinating basket star, a marine creature closely related to traditional starfish. It inhabits the warm, shallow waters of the tropical western Atlantic, extending through the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Its shape and movements resemble its star-shaped relatives, but it has unique characteristics that make it stand out in its ecosystem. The Australian beachworm is a creature that lives hidden beneath the sand of Australian coastlines. Its long and agile body can exceed 3.3 feet in length, moving with great flexibility between grains of sand. This underground inhabitant is a key piece of the coastal ecosystem, even though it spends most of its life out of sight. The island located in Aoshima, known as Cat Island, is a place where felines dominate the landscape, vastly outnumbering the few humans who live there. Originally, the cats were introduced to combat a mouse infestation, but they ended up settling permanently. Today, the cat population exceeds 100 individuals, while human residents number only a few dozen. In a remote region of southeastern Turkey, a unique botanical phenomenon flourishes: the enigmatic black roses of Halfeti. These flowers, with their almost impossible dark tone, owe their color to the specific soil conditions and irrigation with water from the Euphrates River. Their cultivation is only viable in this very particular environment, making them an exclusive floral treasure. In Croatia, there is a rather peculiar museum called Froggyland, which houses an impressive collection of more than 500 taxidermied frogs. What makes this place unique is that each frog has been carefully positioned to imitate human postures and actions, such as playing tennis or performing as circus acrobats. Bernard Smilde, originally from the Netherlands, has earned the nickname Master of Clouds thanks to his innovative artistic approach. His work is based on manipulating elements such as smoke, vapor, and tiny water droplets to create cloud-like formations inside enclosed rooms. These creations are temporary and disappear quickly, but he manages to preserve their fleeting beauty through photography. Actor Nicolas Cage owns a rather unusual tomb, a white pyramid located in the St. Louis Cemetery of New Orleans. This structure, built in 2010 and nearly 9.8 feet tall, bears the enigmatic Latin phrase omnia ab uno, which translates to everything from one. Although Cage has never publicly explained the meaning of his decision, the tomb has become a point of tourist interest. In the vast Namib Desert are the mysterious fairy circles, perfectly round areas where vegetation completely disappears, leaving a bare and arid surface. Around these spaces forms a defined ring of much taller and denser grass than the surrounding terrain, creating a fascinating visual contrast. Beneath Mont Blanc, there is a cave carved each year inside a glacier known as the Grotte de Glace. It is a tunnel of translucent blue ice that changes shape every winter, with sculptures, illuminated walls, and passages that look like they are made of crystal. Walking through it feels like entering a polar castle sculpted by time. And because the glacier moves, the cave is never the same from one year to the next. Imagine a mountain made of cotton, but solid and sculpted by water. Pamukkale means cotton castle in Turkish, and it consists of white limestone formations over which crystal-clear thermal waters flow. The dissolved minerals form natural terrace pools as if someone had placed shining trays on a snowy hillside. In 1959, 9 experienced hikers died in the Ural Mountains under such strange circumstances that the case became one of Russia's greatest mysteries, known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Tents ripped open from the inside, bodies half naked despite the cold, one with a missing tongue, another with a crushed skull, but no external signs of violence. Years later, theories were proposed, including an avalanche, infrasound-induced paranoia, and even secret experiments. But none are fully convincing. The hagfish is a unique creature in the animal kingdom because it has a skull but lacks a позвоночник. Its internal structure is made of cartilage instead of rigid bones, giving it flexibility to adapt to marine conditions. Despite being a vertebrate, its anatomy sets it apart because it does not have a typical backbone. As a defense against predators, the hagfish can secrete large amounts of mucus, creating a viscous substance that can suffocate attackers. The sea otter holds the title of the furriest animal in the world, with an impressive range of between 100,000 and 160,000 hairs per square centimeter. This dense fur allows it to survive in cold and icy waters, effectively protecting it from the cold. Unlike other marine mammals that rely on a thick layer of fat for insulation, the sea otter depends entirely on its fur to stay warm. Did you know that in China there is a traditional dish called suodiu that uses stones cooked on a grill? These stones are seasoned with oil and spices to give them flavor, but they are not eaten. Instead, they are sucked on to enjoy the mixture of flavors before being discarded. This curious dish is considered a unique sensory experience for those looking for something different. Mark Sinclair Vincent is the real name of the actor known as Vin Diesel. From a young age, he was given the nickname Diesel because of his energy and strength, while Vin comes from his stepfather. Did you know that the Extinct Media Museum, inaugurated in January 2023, houses an impressive collection of old cameras, video cameras, and mobile phones? This museum contains approximately 3,000 items and stands out for offering a unique sensory experience. Visitors can interact with the pieces, such as a Japanese lily camera from 1916, the oldest item in the collection. Beneath the Mendenhall Glacier lies a system of fluorescent blue ice tunnels, so clear they seem to be made of solid light. Here, these caves constantly change shape due to melting and ice movement. Walking inside feels like stepping into a living sapphire, but it also carries risks as they can collapse without warning. Imagine a desert, but white as chalk. The White Desert of Egypt is an area where wind has sculpted limestone into impossible shapes. Giant mushrooms, animals, and natural statues that look hand-carved. During the day, it resembles a snowy planet. At night, under moonlight, it turns silver blue, like a science fiction set. A man arrives at Tokyo Airport with a passport, documents, traveler's checks, and even immigration stamps, all issued by a country that does not exist, Taurid. He claimed his nation was located between Spain and France. When shown a map, he pointed to Andorra, but said that Taurid had been there for 1,000 years. Well, he was taken to a hotel under surveillance while authorities investigated, but the next day he vanished from the locked room without a trace. Not even his documents were ever found again. The most viral, mysterious, and unsettling case of the last decade. Elisa Lam was seen in security footage inside the elevator of the Cecil Hotel, acting erratically, as if talking to someone who was not there. Then she disappeared. Her body was found days later in a rooftop water tank, locked and difficult to access. There were no signs of violence. No one saw anything. The video was not altered, and to this day, no one knows how she got there or what happened in that elevator. After losing his sight to cancer at the age of 3, Ben Underwood developed the ability of human echolocation, like bats. He made clicking sounds with his tongue and listened to the echoes to detect objects, distances, and shapes. He rode a bike, played basketball, and even read embossed text without a cane or guide dog, using only his hearing. He literally saw with sound, an ability science still does not fully understand. He suffers from or possesses a condition called hyperthymesia, which means he remembers absolutely every day of his life with surgical detail. If you ask him what he did on a Wednesday in 1997, he will tell you what he was wearing, the weather, what he ate, and even what he was thinking. Imagine remembering absolutely everything, even what you want to forget. This fish has electric organs that generate up to 220 volts. It uses these discharges to stun prey, defend itself, and navigate in murky waters. But the wildest part is that it can control that discharge with surgical precision. It is like carrying a biological stun gun with an on-off switch. This Central American lizard runs so fast, up to 12 kilometers per hour, that its feet do not sink immediately, allowing it to walk across rivers and puddles for several meters. The trick? It has special scales on its feet and uses its tail to maintain balance, like a ninja tightrope walker. Did you know that celery is considered a negative calorie food? With only 16 calories per 100 grams, this vegetable is extremely low in calories. What is surprising is that the body burns around 14 calories just to digest it, meaning that almost 90% of the energy it provides is lost during digestion. The three-toed sloth takes the art of calm to another level. This curious mammal can sleep up to 22 hours a day, making it one of the ultimate champions of rest in the animal kingdom. Its pace is so slow that it only comes down from trees once a week, exclusively to relieve itself. Its slowness, however, is not a flaw, but an evolutionary strategy. Moving slowly helps it go unnoticed by predators. In the middle of the arid desert of northwestern China lies a hidden gem that looks like something out of a fairy tale, the Dunhuang Oasis. There, the dunes sing with the wind, and a mysterious crescent-shaped lake shines among the sands. In ancient times, Dunhuang was the only gateway in and out of China, playing a key role in the Silk Road. Today, it is the largest tourist center in the region, attracting adventurers and curious travelers alike. This lake in West Africa, called Lake Retba, has a bright bubblegum pink color, even more intense than Australia's Lake Hillier. Its color comes from a bacterium that produces red pigments in extremely salty water, especially under strong sunlight. What is incredible is that people work inside it, extracting salt while floating in this pink liquid like it is an alien jacuzzi. At the top of Mount Kelimutu are 3 lakes that periodically change color, ranging from emerald green to black, red, or turquoise. The wildest part is that each lake has a different color, and none of them are connected, even though they are only meters apart. Scientists still do not fully understand the mechanism, but it is believed to be due to differences in chemical composition and underground volcanic activity. In 1513, the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis drew a map with inexplicable accuracy for its time. It includes parts of South America with exact coastal details, Atlantic islands that had not yet been discovered, and even a section of Antarctica without ice. Scientists confirmed that Antarctica did have that shape thousands of years ago. But how did a 16th century Ottoman sailor know this? In 1930, a hunter named Joe Labelle arrived at the remote Inuit village of Anjakuni and found no one, literally no one. The entire village had vanished. No bodies, no signs of struggle, no evidence of evacuation. Food was left prepared, weapons hung in place, and the sled dogs were found starved to death, still tied to their posts. Imagine looking at the sky and seeing an Independence Day-style mothership hovering among the mountains. But no, it is a cloud. Lenticular clouds have a perfect disc shape, remain motionless, shine brightly, and look exactly like classic flying saucers. What is unsettling is that many historical UFO sightings coincided with the presence of these clouds, but not all of them. At the confluence of the Catatumbo River and Lake Maracaibo, something unique in the world occurs. A storm that never stops. Literally, lightning every night, around 260 nights a year, with more than 280 lightning strikes per hour. Scientists have proposed theories involving thermal differences and extreme atmospheric conditions, but no meteorological model fully explains why the phenomenon repeats with such precision only there. This small beetle can shoot a boiling, toxic jet of liquid from its rear, reaching temperatures of up to 100 degrees Celsius with surgical precision. It uses a mixture of hydrogen peroxide and quinones that react violently upon contact. This defense is so effective that it repels spiders, frogs, and even birds. Imagine defending yourself with a built-in biological flamethrower. This is the hairy frog, the one that breaks its bones to form claws. This African frog has such a savage defense mechanism that it feels like something out of a horror movie. It breaks its own bones to push sharp fragments through its skin, forming temporary bone claws. Once the danger passes, the bones retract and heal. Look at the bush viper, the snake that looks like a dragon and camouflages itself as a leaf. This African snake has sharp, protruding scales that look like feathers, giving it a completely unreal appearance, as if pulled straight from Game of Thrones. Even crazier, it can mimic the texture of dry branches or living moss thanks to its irregular scales, achieving near invisibility. Did you know that the bee hummingbird, native to Cuba, is the smallest bird in the world? It measures only about 5.5 centimeters in length and weighs less than a 10-cent coin. Despite its tiny size, this incredible hummingbird feeds on nectar from more than 1,500 flowers per day. Its wings beat up to 80 times per second, producing its characteristic hum. In Japan, the tea ceremony, known as chanoyu or chado, is a deeply rooted cultural tradition. This practice consists of preparing and serving matcha, a powdered green tea. The tea is made by mixing the powder with hot water and whisking it in a special bowl called a chawan. Attention to detail and precision are essential in this ritual, which focuses on harmony and respect throughout the entire process. Florida is the state with the highest number of tornadoes per square mile in the United States due to its warm and humid climate. Although these tornadoes are usually small and short-lived, they can still cause significant damage. Their frequency is due to the climatic conditions that favor their formation in the region. Did you know that in Australia, Burger King is called Hungry Jack's? When the chain wanted to expand there, the name Burger King was already registered by another company. So the franchisee Jack Cowan chose the name Hungry Jack's, and it has remained that way ever since. Despite the name change, the products are the same, including the Whopper with some adaptations to Australian tastes. The black mamba is the fastest snake in the world, reaching speeds of up to 20 kilometers per hour. Its venom contains fast-acting neurotoxins that paralyze the nervous system. With each bite, it delivers enough venom to kill 10 people. It also strikes multiple times in succession to ensure lethality, making it one of the most dangerous and feared snakes in Africa. The Volvo P1800, owned by Irv Gordon, achieved an impressive Guinness World Record. This New Yorker drove his car more than 4.8 million kilometers. Its durability turned it into an automotive icon. Gordon meticulously cared for it for decades. It is the vehicle with the highest mileage ever recorded by a single owner. In the calm waters of rivers and lakes in Southeast Asia lives a singular predator, the snakehead fish. This voracious hunter has a unique ability that defies expectations in the aquatic world. It can breathe air. Thanks to a special organ adapted to absorb oxygen outside water, this fish can survive up to 4 days out of its natural habitat. In 1954, Flight 513 of Santiago Airlines departed from Germany, bound for Brazil, and disappeared without explanation. Decades later, in 1992, a story emerged that was as disturbing as it was fascinating. The same plane allegedly reappeared in Brazilian territory, landing with no visible crew. According to some versions, the skeletons of all passengers and crew were found inside, seated as if nothing had happened. Roger Babson, an economist and founder of Babson College, was considered an eccentric figure. In 1927, 2 years before the Wall Street crash, he wrote, "A crash is coming, a financial storm that will wipe out the fortunes of thousands." At the time, the market was booming and his warning was mocked. But on October 24th, 1929, Black Thursday arrived. The market collapsed, millions were ruined, and the Great Depression began. 14 years before the sinking of the Titanic, author Morgan Robertson published the novel Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. The story described a massive ocean liner, considered unsinkable, called the Titan, which struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank, causing thousands of deaths due to a lack of lifeboats. This animal is not a real vampire, but its name is not random. It lives in the darkest depths of the ocean, where pressure is extreme and light simply does not exist. Its skin is black and red, and it has a membrane between its tentacles that, when spread, looks like a vampire's cape. The spider monkey is known for its ability to leap distances of up to 9 meters, when it also has an astonishing capacity to survive falls from great heights, up to 15 meters, without suffering serious injuries. Its physical structure plays a crucial role in this ability, as its long, slender limbs act as shock absorbers during impact. Did you know that there are airlines dedicated exclusively to animals? These airlines, known as pet airlines, are designed to provide comfort and safety for pets during travel. One of the best known is Pet Airways, founded in Delray Beach, Florida. They offer climate-controlled cabins and spaces adapted for animals so they can travel more calmly and comfortably. In the region of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies Derinkuyu, an astonishing underground city that descends up to 85 meters below the surface. With more than 2,500 years of history, this impressive structure was used as a refuge by thousands of people during times of invasion. Its ingenious design and defensive capacity make it a true marvel of ancient engineering. On the banks of the Hudson River, one of the founding fathers of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, lost his life after being shot by Aaron Burr. Although Burr was acquitted, his political career was destroyed. This tragic duel reflects the consequences of rivalry taken to the extreme and marks a dark episode in U.S. history. An accidental explosion in an underground coal mine in 1962 ignited a fire that was never extinguished. Since then, Centralia has been burning beneath the ground for more than 60 years. The soil emits gases, cracks open, and there are areas where asphalt melts. Most residents were evacuated, but a few refused to leave. Today, it is almost a ghost town, with hell burning just below. It has no wings, no engine, no aerodynamic scales, yet it flies. The flying snake of Southeast Asia can glide from tree to tree thanks to a surprising trick. It flattens its body into the shape of a living wing and jumps. It does not simply fall. It launches itself, twists, glides, and travels up to 10 meters. It uses its body like a natural hang glider, controlling its flight with undulating movements. And its smell does not help either. Its internal fermentation makes it stink so badly that many call it the stink bird. This freshwater slug has a transportation system as peculiar as it is smelly. Instead of swimming like a normal fish, it fills itself with gas and releases it to propel itself like a silent rocket. Yes, it literally farts to float and move. These gases are produced when it digests algae and are stored in its stomach until it needs a boost. Zero glamour, maximum efficiency. The Vatican is home to the smallest and most singular financial institution on the planet. Officially known as the Institute for the Works of Religion, it is also referred to as the Vatican Bank. Unlike major international banks, its operations are strictly tied to the economic and administrative activities of the Holy See. In 1986, the explosion of Reactor 4 turned Pripyat into a nuclear hell. Thousands were evacuated, but decades later, some people known as the self-resettlers decided to return. They live among abandoned structures, radioactive fields, and mutated animals. Although many say that nature is recovering, radiation levels are still dangerous. In the middle of World War II, Hollywood actress Hedy Lamarr, yes, an actress designed together with composer George Antheil a system to prevent the Nazis from intercepting torpedoes. They used the idea of randomly hopping between frequencies, something nobody understood in the 1940s. Decades later, that same technology became the foundation for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart presented the first computer mouse, a square wooden box with two internal wheels. It had no modern buttons, it was not even called a mouse yet, and its cursor was not a visible arrow. It was so unintuitive that no one understood what it was for until 20 years later, when Apple redesigned it and made it mainstream. Did you know that the term checkmate in chess comes from a 14th century Arabic phrase, Shah Matat, which means the king is helpless? This expression reflects the situation in which the king has no available moves to escape. Chess originated in India and reached Europe through the Arab world, leaving a deep influence on both the language and the rules of the game. Male lions that have been castrated do not develop a mane due to the absence of testosterone, the hormone responsible for the growth of this distinctive feature. This phenomenon is commonly observed in zoos or wildlife reserves, where some individuals are castrated for medical or animal management reasons. Novi Ockerville is a gigantic residential complex located in Kudrovo, near St. Petersburg, Russia, that opened in 2015. This massive building can house between 18,000 and 20,000 people, distributed across 3,708 apartments spread over 25 floors with 35 separate entrances. Its scale and population density make it a clear example of extreme vertical urbanism. A tiger's stripes work like a personal fingerprint, since each individual has a unique pattern that is never repeated. What is even more surprising is that these markings are not only on the fur, but also on the skin, meaning they would remain visible even if the animal lost its hair. Ivan Sutherland, a digital artist and pioneer of computer graphics, built a headset that projected three-dimensional images directly in front of the eyes. It was called the Sword of Damocles because it hung from the ceiling and looked like medieval torture. Its goal was simple and revolutionary: to visualize spaces that did not exist. Before Google, there was Archie, created in 1990 by Alan Mtage, a university student in Canada. His problem was that he could not easily find academic papers online. His solution was to write a program that searched files across all servers connected to the network. That is how the first search engine was born. No images, no polished results, just text, but it marked the beginning of the global information tsunami. The creator, Susan Stockwell, designed a world map using recycled materials from electronic devices. For her artwork, she used elements like motherboard panels, hard drives, and other components from old computers. This piece combines art, technology, and environmental awareness in a striking visual representation. In the German town of Zielbach, there are unique houses built between the treetops. These elevated structures, located 4.5 meters above the ground, offer a different lodging experience. Each house has 2 rooms, a fully equipped kitchen, a private bathroom, and wireless connection access. Mohammed Rashid achieved an impressive feat by breaking 315 walnuts in just 60 seconds using only his elbow. When this display of strength and coordination earned him an unusual record. His ability to perform quick and precise movements distinguishes him for his exceptional skill. The pineapple's skin has remarkable tolerance to high temperatures, being able to withstand up to 1,000 degrees Celsius. Thanks to the structure of its natural fibers, it acts as an excellent thermal insulator. This feature makes it a resource with potential for the development of fire-resistant materials. Matt Bush is an athlete specializing in extreme sports who decided to dedicate himself to free solo climbing. This discipline involves climbing vertical cliffs without using any safety equipment or harness. His challenge consists of facing heights with only his skills and physical strength. Along the Icelandic coastline, there is a rock formation known as the Elephant Rock. This unique structure has been shaped over centuries by the constant force of waves and gusts of wind. Over time, it has become a representative symbol of the region's natural landscape. Singapore Airlines offers its passengers the possibility of traveling in individual suites, equipped with sliding doors for more privacy. These exclusive air rooms feature double beds, private bathrooms, and personalized luxury service. This level of comfort and service translates into a considerably high cost. When giraffes want to hydrate, they have to separate their front legs or bend their leg joints to reach the ground with their long neck. However, most of the liquid they need comes directly from the leaves they consume. Can you imagine Tom and Jerry ending their lives? Beyond the unusual, this actually happened. In the final episode of Blue Cat Blues, Tom loses his love and falls into depression. Jerry tries to cheer him up, but in the end, both appear sitting on the train tracks, arm in arm, waiting for the impact. The scene ends with the sound of an approaching train and a fade to black. It might sound surprising, but the British model Elizabeth Hode, age 49, married her dog Logan, a 6-year-old golden retriever, after 4 failed engagements and 220 unsuccessful dates. The ceremony was held on the British show This Morning, where Hode paraded in her wedding dress while her loyal dog waited for her at the altar. Let me introduce you to Natalie Sidesurf, a pastry chef and artist known for her YouTube channel, Sidesurf Cake Studio. She stands out for designing cakes so realistic they perfectly imitate objects, people, and animals. Her talent combines baking with sculpture, creating works that amaze with their detail. Thanks to this, she has gained significant international popularity. Bashir Sultani, a Canadian artist of Afghan origin, transforms colored pencils into pieces of art that look like they came out of a visual puzzle. Instead of drawing with them, he arranges them with astonishing precision to form portraits and designs that amaze with their detail and originality. Guilherme Mampuya is an Angolan artist whose energy and optimism seem to infect every stroke he makes. His art doesn't settle for staying on gallery walls. What he does is take it to the world, transforming gray walls into explosions of color and turning common spaces into lively scenes. Yaron Moek, born in Australia in 1958, is a master of hyper-realistic sculptures that seem to come to life. Before shining in contemporary art, he worked in special effects for movies, which honed his incredible attention to detail. His works stand out for playing with scales, giant or tiny human figures that capture essential moments of life, from birth to old age. Isaiah Acosta is a true example of how the human spirit can break any barrier. He was born without a jaw and without airways, so he has never been able to speak or eat like others, and also lives with a rare condition called situs inversus, which causes his organs to be on the opposite side of his body. But that didn't stop him. He found his voice in rap, either writing lyrics that others interpret for him and sharing messages so powerful that even the BBC nominated him as a source of inspiration. In the Indian city of Mangaluru, Ganapati Bhatt revolutionized the way betel nuts are harvested with an invention as clever as it is fast: a palm tree climbing scooter. This curious device, made with an engine, wheels, and a simple seat, allows him to climb 20 meters in just 5 seconds. Bhatt, a farmer by trade and a creator by nature, designed this machine to ease his daily work, and now many farmers dream of having one too. Pluribot looks like it's from a science fiction movie, but in reality it's a robotic salamander created by scientists to study movement. Its flexible structure mimics real bones and joints, allowing it to slide on land and swim naturally. From Idaho, Elias Herrera became a sensation on TikTok with his most unlikely companion, a cow named Bruce. What's curious is that Bruce doesn't live in a barn, but as part of the family. He appears in videos cooking, exploring the house, and even interacting as if he were a curious dog. With over 100 million views, this unusual friendship proves that affection doesn't understand species or size. And speaking of shadows that tell stories, we can't forget about Kuranushi. This young Japanese artist turns simple pieces of cardboard into sculptures that, with the right light, project hidden images, faces, landscapes, and scenes that are only revealed when illuminated from the right angle. The mega-mouth shark is an exceptionally rare creature in the oceans. Since it was first identified in 1976, only about 60 individuals have been documented. Its presence is so uncommon that it remains a mystery to marine scientists. This species is distinguished by its enormous mouth and little-known habits. In New Zealand territory, there is an elevation with the longest name ever recorded worldwide. This name pays tribute to an ancient Maori warrior who, according to legend, played a melody on his flute in honor of his deceased brother. Julius Yego, a renowned javelin thrower from Kenya, became an unconventional success story. Due to the lack of specialized coaches in his country, he turned to YouTube as his main source of learning. By studying recordings of professional athletes, he perfected his technique and became a silver medalist in the 2016 Rio Olympics. At Benito Villamarin Stadium, thousands of stuffed toys flew from the stands in an emotional show of solidarity. During the match against SD Eibar on match day 17 of the 2018/2019 season, Real Betis fans threw toys onto the field. The shower of stuffed animals turned the grass into a sea of colors, all to brighten Christmas for underprivileged children. Let me introduce you to Min Mayo, a talented Vietnamese artist specializing in papercraft, the art of creating three-dimensional figures using only paper. On his website, he offers templates so others can recreate his impressive models, which include characters from anime, video games, and pop culture. What sets his designs apart is his creativity and attention to detail. He also shares some models for free, making this fascinating art accessible to all. The Korowai tribe from Papua lives in houses built high up in the jungle trees. These homes, made from natural materials like wood, bamboo, and bark, can accommodate up to 15 people. To access them, the inhabitants use a very peculiar ladder, a serrated log. This unique lifestyle demonstrates the tribe's incredible adaptation to their natural surroundings. Discover the shark statue at Lake Neuchâtel, Switzerland, a curious piece of modern art. It simulates a shark emerging from the water, made from shiny metals that play with the light. Its presence surprises and invites reflection with its provocative design. The sculpture represents the bond between humanity, nature, and the unpredictable. The humanoid robot Tiangong caught attention by completing a half marathon in Beijing in 2024. He's standing at just 1.63 meters tall and weighing 95 pounds. It covered the 21 kilometers in under 3 hours. It maintained a steady pace of 5:18 per mile, surprising everyone present. This breakthrough was achieved by the Artificial Intelligence Robotics Innovation Center. In 2017, Evandro Portela left everyone speechless by reaching 125 miles per hour on a bicycle on an urban road near Curitiba, Brazil. To achieve this mind-blowing speed, he took advantage of the draft from a Subaru WRX equipped with a special polycarbonate cover that reduced wind resistance. His bicycle, of course, was no ordinary bike. It had a 105-tooth chain ring and ceramic bearings that optimized every pedal stroke, making this feat a memorable world record. Thousands of miles away, on the bustling streets of Malacca, Malaysia, a refreshing drink steals the spotlight and the taste buds. Watermelon juice served in its own rind. This healthy and eye-catching option not only delights with its natural sweetness, but also with its eco-friendly presentation. They prepare it on the spot, straight from the fruit, reselling it for about $3 at tourist spots like Yonker Street. The result? A tropical burst of freshness with an Instagram-worthy aesthetic. Victoria Lee from China takes realism in tattoos to another level. Since 2014, she has perfected the ability to capture light, shadows, and even the smallest detail in portraits and compositions that seem like photographs. The owner of Victorian Gallery, she has gained international recognition for blurring the fine line between art and reality, leaving a profound mark on the tattoo world with her meticulous and passionate work. Speaking of young talent, Victory Brinker is a girl who was literally born to shine on stage. At just 7 years old, she was already a professional opera singer with a Guinness World Record to her name. Her voice, capable of singing arias in several languages, left the judges of America's Got Talent speechless, who didn't hesitate to give her the first ever group Golden Buzzer in the show's history. Since then, Victory has continued to dazzle the world, proving that art, just like talent, has no age. This relative of the seahorse, known as the leafy sea dragon, has a collection of appendages shaped like leaves that perfectly camouflage it among the seaweed. Its appearance is so spectacular that it seems designed by a fantasy artist. It floats elegantly while its leaves move, as if the water itself were weaving them. In Colombia, there is an apartment that faithfully recreates the iconic house from The Simpsons, and it is available for rent through Airbnb. This themed home has gained so much fame that booking a stay there is difficult due to the high demand. Fans of the show enjoy the opportunity to live a unique experience by staying there. Bartosz Ostalowski, a Polish driver who lost both arms, learned to drive using his feet. Not only did he manage to get behind the wheel again, but he also became an expert driver, demonstrating an incredible story of personal triumph. Thanks to his perseverance and effort, he overcame obstacles that seemed impossible. Sergei Cadenas presents in his creations a portrait that transforms depending on the perspective from which it is viewed. The piece reflects temporal evolution through small changes in facial expression. Each angle reveals a new facet, as if the face were telling a story in constant motion. Meet Mudung, a little pygmy hippo born in 2024, who captured the hearts of millions after going viral for its peculiar yet adorable appearance. Although it now looks like a character from a cartoon, in a few years it will weigh 600 to 6 pounds. This little-known species lives in remote corners of West Africa and faces an uncertain future. In the wild, fewer than 2,000 individuals survive. In the South China Sea lies the Dragon Hole, a blue hole more than 300 meters deep, considered the deepest in the world. What's strange is not only its size, but also that several expeditions have failed to reach the bottom. Do you know the Haenyeo? On Jeju Island, in the Republic of Korea, there is a community of extraordinary women who challenge the ocean every day. These are the Haenyeo, divers who, without oxygen masks, might dive up to 10 meters deep to collect seafood like abalones and sea urchins. Can you imagine holding your breath for several minutes while exploring the depths of the ocean? The Haenyeo do it every day. In Japan, there is a television contest where participants try to climb an incredibly slippery staircase to reach an envelope at the top. It seems easy, but each step is chaos, epic falls, unexpected slips, and guaranteed laughter. Contestants cling on as best they can while the audience enjoys their hilarious struggles. Some manage to reach the top, but most end up sliding back down. The Weeped Sonic Expander is not just any electric motorcycle, it is a true bullet on wheels. With a speed of up to 87 miles per hour, this futuristic beast combines power and style in a single vehicle. Its aerodynamic design and advanced technology make it one of the fastest electric motorcycles in the world. Cuban Eric Hernandez took the art of ball control to another level. With extraordinary stamina, he kept the ball in the air for over 12 hours without it touching the ground, securing a place in the Guinness World Records. While others tire after minutes, he turned his skill into an almost superhuman feat. Imagine holding the ball up for that long without letting it drop. Have you heard of the White Turf in St. Moritz, Switzerland? It is a spectacular horse race held on an ice-covered lake every February. For 3 Sundays, riders and thoroughbreds from all over Europe compete before more than 30,000 spectators in an event that combines sport, art, and luxury in a dreamlike winter landscape. Meet Eliseo Ramos, a man who turned a cave into his home on the Cerro de la Silla of Mexico. After losing his house over 25 years ago, he decided to build a new space in the rocks, adapting the cave with a bathroom, dining room, and even a living room. Today, Eliseo lives there, showing that with creativity you can make a home anywhere. Camels have an incredible ability to eat thorny plants without harm, thanks to a special layer in their mouths. This adaptation allows them to survive in deserts where food is scarce. Their tough palate, located at the top of the mouth, helps protect them from thorns while chewing. This way, the cactus thorns pass through their throat without causing any harm. In Moscow, the Twin Stars restaurant is so unique that its entire staff is made up exclusively of twins. And this one-of-a-kind concept creates a memorable experience for diners, who can interact with staff members that share a special connection. Did you know that in Afghanistan, there is an ancient trick to keep grapes fresh for up to 6 months? It's called kangina, and it is a true traditional wonder. The grapes are stored in clay and straw jars, well sealed, and hidden in basements or underground. Thus, without refrigerators or chemicals, the fruit remains juicy and delicious throughout the winter and spring. Amar Bharati, a man from India, decided in 1973 to raise his right arm as a deep sign of devotion to the god Shiva, and since then, he has never lowered it. This incredible act of faith and sacrifice turned him into a living symbol of renunciation and spirituality, to the point where his arm became immobilized, and reflecting an austerity that astonishes and inspires those who know his story. Deep in the northern forests, a creature sometimes appears that seems to be straight out of a legend, the fire fox. This variant of the red fox has intensely orange fur and a hypnotic gaze, the result of a genetic alteration that affects melanin. It is estimated that less than 1% of red foxes belong to this incredible category, and they have been spotted in places like Canada, Norway, and Japan. Located in the Danakil Desert, Dalol has temperatures reaching 122 degrees Fahrenheit for much of the year. But what's even more extreme is its geothermal activity. Boiling sulfuric acid springs, multicolored salt lagoons, and toxic gases in the air. Rambo, an orangutan resident in Dubai, has left everyone in awe by mastering the driving of a golf cart. But he moves with great skill and caution around the zoo's facilities, captivating those who watch him. This intelligent primate shows an uncommon ability, proving that his learning goes beyond expectations. His calm and safe handling has garnered great admiration from visitors who enjoy watching his talent behind the wheel. In New York, a restaurant called Industry Kitchen has earned a place in the Guinness World Records for its most extravagant culinary creation, the world's most expensive pizza. Priced at $2,700, this exclusive pizza must be reserved at least 2 days in advance. Its recipe includes luxurious ingredients like 24-karat pure gold leaves, intense blue cheese, and French truffles. During her teenage years, actress Margot Robbie took her admiration for Harry Potter to an insane level. Her fanatical love for the series led her to fake vision problems just to wear glasses similar to those of the famous wizard. Her goal was to look more like her literary idol, even adopting the characteristic round glasses style. Japan leads the world in the number of vending machines, with more than 5.5 million spread across the country. This means there is approximately one vending machine for every 23 inhabitants, making it easy to quickly access a variety of products. China holds the second place with more than 300,000 units. Former Finnish President Sauli Niinisto, who ended his term in 2024, lived a dramatic experience during the 2004 tsunami in Thailand. In this natural disaster, he and his son managed to save themselves by clinging to a utility pole, resisting the force of the water. This brave and fortunate act allowed them to survive one of the most devastating catastrophes in recent history, marking an unforgettable personal moment for Niinisto. The fish known as anglerfish, which dwell in the dark depths of the sea, use a luminous appendage as a lure to attract their prey. A notable feature of these creatures is the massive size difference between the sexes. Females are significantly larger than males. Because of this, the male attaches parasitically to the female, fusing with her to ensure reproduction. Let me introduce you to Jonathan, a giant tortoise who has defied the passage of time like no other land animal. Born in 1832 in the Seychelles Islands, Jonathan has not only lived for more than 190 years, but he also holds the record as the longest living terrestrial being on the planet. He currently resides on St. Helena Island, where he is a local celebrity and a symbol of extraordinary longevity. North Korea operates an airline called Air Koryo, which has a total of 6 aircraft in service. For a long time, this airline was considered the worst rated worldwide by Skytrax, receiving only 1 star out of 5. However, today its rating has changed, and it now holds no official rating. In 2007, a Japanese submarine captured on video a colossal squid more than 33 feet long that displayed previously unrecorded behaviors, such as aggressively approaching the sub and surrounding it with its tentacles. What's unsettling is not just its size, but its intelligence and territorial attitude. In Papua New Guinea, the Huli wigmen take hairstyling to another level. Their iconic wigmen are wigs made from their own hair, carefully grown and shaped to reach perfection. These aren't just accessories, but symbols of status and tradition, adorned with paradise bird feathers for important ceremonies. The Conrad Rangali in the Maldives holds the title of the largest underwater hotel in the world. This luxurious paradise features the planet's first underwater suite and an underwater restaurant where you can dine while observing marine life. Built with an investment of $15 million, the hotel offers a unique experience, sleeping 16 feet below sea level. Of course, this luxury comes at a price, with stays starting at $50,000 per night. In ancient times, purple dye was one of the most expensive and exclusive goods. It was obtained from the marine mollusk Bulinus brandaris, known for its ability to produce a purple secretion that was used to dye fabrics. The production process was so laborious and rare that only the most powerful could afford it, which is why it was called royal purple. In fact, the dye became a symbol of wealth and status, reserved only for royalty and high-ranking dignitaries. Due to its high cost, gold was sometimes used to obtain this hue. In the art world, Martin Lagares stands out for his mastery of clay, as if he were shaping emotions with his hands. His sculptures are not just figures, but frozen stories in clay. Bodies in motion, gestures full of intent, and details that seem to whisper thoughts. Each piece is a silent testament to the human condition, molded with a sensitivity rarely seen. In the world of anime, Thomas Romain combines childlike fantasy with his professional talent. This Franco-Japanese animator transforms his children's drawings into stylized and detailed anime characters, taking childhood innocence and creativity to another level. His creations have sparked a viral phenomenon on social media, where thousands admire how he turns simple sketches into true animated works of art. This carnivorous marsupial from Australia, known as the Tasmanian tiger, had the body of a dog, tiger stripes, in a pouch like a kangaroo. Officially extinct since 1936, recent years have seen reports and videos of supposed sightings in remote areas of Tasmania. Whether it still exists or not remains a mystery, but its strange combination of features continues to fascinate the world. This prehistoric-looking shark lives at great depths. It has a long, sword-like snout, but what truly makes it famous is its extendable jaw. It can project it outward like a spring to catch its prey. When it attacks, its face literally transforms into a monster from a science fiction movie. Perched on a steep rocky formation overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea is an ancient church known as Santa Maria dell'Isola in Tropea, Italy. This centuries-old sanctuary stands out not only for its religious legacy, but also for its commanding position in an incredibly beautiful natural setting. These caterpillars attract a lot of attention. Native to South Africa, the Cape lappet caterpillars have bodies covered with long, bright orange hairs that make them look like creatures from another world. Their strange appearance not only scares potential predators, but also fascinates those who see them. They are a true natural phenomenon that is hard to miss. Not far from Punta Mita in Mexico, there is a beach known as Playa del Amor, which can only be accessed by swimming through a natural underwater landscape about 492 feet long. And to reach this hideaway, one must swim through this tunnel that connects to the open sea, offering a unique and exclusive experience. The Wunderpus photogenicus, an octopus discovered in the waters of the Philippines, is a nocturnal creature. It usually displays subtle tones on its skin, but when it senses danger, its body transforms, displaying vibrant red and orange colors. In Ropoto, Greece, there is a church that leans noticeably with a 17-degree angle, which can cause dizziness and discomfort for visitors. In 2012, a landslide devastated much of the town, leaving many structures abandoned. Pink parrots really do exist in nature. A notable example is the Burke's parrot, which sports a soft plumage in pastel colors, combining pinks and lavenders that make it visually stunning. These birds are a true spectacle for wildlife lovers, standing out for their delicate beauty. In the town of Mullumbimby, Australia, there is an enormous amethyst geode that originated in what is now Uruguay millions of years ago. This impressive crystalline formation was transported there by the family of Naran King, who decided to mortgage their house to buy it. During winter, alligators survive by remaining still beneath the water's surface, leaving only their snouts exposed above the ice to breathe. This strategy allows them to conserve energy by reducing their metabolic activity while they wait for the temperatures to rise. In this way, they withstand extreme cold without needing to move much. The longest concrete bridge in the world is the Danyang Kunshan, located in China. It was opened to the public more than 13 years ago and facilitates a quick link between two major Chinese cities. The construction of this monumental structure took just over 3 years to complete. Yes, in the Middle Ages, animals could be arrested, tried, and executed just like humans. There are cases where pigs were hanged for murder, chickens were burned alive for witchcraft, and even a group of rats was summoned to court for ruining crops. Had a legal dispute and couldn't prove your innocence? Easy, you fought to the death against your accuser. This is how judicial duels worked, where it was believed that God would protect the innocent. And it didn't matter if you were noble or peasant. If you had no evidence, you risked it in the arena with swords, clubs, or even shovels. In some cases, women could fight, but with different rules. Lois Gibson is a true hero of both art and justice. With her talent for drawing, she has helped capture more than 1,300 criminals, all based on the victims' accounts. Her precision is so remarkable that she has earned a place in the Guinness World Records as the most successful forensic artist in the world. She works for the Houston Police, where her pencil has become a powerful weapon against crime. In some regions of the U.S., coyotes and badgers form a surprising hunting team. While the coyote chases ground squirrels on the surface, the badger digs beneath to block their escape. This incredible collaboration increases their chances of success, although they don't always share the food. Imagine a car that not only drives on the road, but also underwater. The Scuba, the first submarine car in the world, was created in 2008 by the Swiss company Rinspeed. Equipped with twin propellers and special motors, this vehicle floats on the water, but when a hatch is opened, it floods and turns into a true submarine. Who wouldn't want to drive on the road and then dive to explore the ocean floor? In Waiotapu, New Zealand, one of the most amazing natural wonders can be found: the Champagne Pool. This large boiling water pool is famous for its bubbling bubbles and its blue-green color, caused by the minerals present in its waters. The constantly boiling hot springs create an effervescent effect, similar to a glass of champagne. The British company Neobot has created a battery for electric cars that charges from 10% to 80% in just 4 minutes and 37 seconds. This impressive breakthrough was demonstrated live with a sports car on a test track in Bedford. The battery is part of a global effort to accelerate the charging of electric vehicles. The prototype, called Neobot EV, offers a range of approximately 120 miles with just that quick charge. Do you know the Microlino? It is a compact electric car designed for 2 people. It charges in just 4 hours and can travel up to 143 miles on a single charge. Perfect for cities, its small size and ease of parking make it a practical option for urban environments. In London, there is a true gem of engineering and design: the Rolling Bridge. Created by architect Thomas Heatherwick, this pedestrian bridge is not ordinary, as it can roll up on itself like a giant bracelet to allow boats to pass. It consists of 8 triangular sections made of steel and wood that, when a hydraulic system is activated, transform into a fascinating octagonal shape. On the other side of the world, in some regions of Asia, there are very special artists demonstrating that creativity is not exclusive to humans. The painting elephants. Trained to hold brushes with their trunks, these giants show surprising intelligence and fine motor skills, allowing them to replicate simple patterns or recognizable images like trees and flowers. If you prefer an adventure in nature, the Treetop Skywalk in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, awaits you with a unique experience. This suspended lit bridge, 800 feet long, allows you to walk between the treetops at 59 feet above the ground, offering stunning views of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And in the world of film, unforeseen events can be as dramatic as the scenes themselves. During the filming of the movie Now You See Me, actress Isla Fisher experienced a moment of true danger when she got trapped in a water tank. A technical failure prevented her from escaping quickly, and the crew took time to realize it, thinking she was acting. Luckily, she managed to free herself using an emergency switch, turning that scene into a story of bravery and luck. In Sicily, the city of Gramacella captivates with its unique urban design, a perfect hexagon that emerged after an earthquake in 1693, where the streets unfold symmetrically from a central square, showing architectural harmony and urban ingenuity that combines Baroque elegance with surprisingly modern planning. In Germany, traditional glass decorations are authentic, handcrafted jewels that have adorned Christmas trees for generations. These pieces, blown and hand-painted with incredible detail, combine the elegance of glass with classic festive motifs like spheres, fruits, animal figures, or Christmas characters. At first glance, the green viper seems like just another branch of foliage, but it is a master of stealth. This slender and agile tree snake glides between the treetops of Latin America as if it were part of the landscape. Its deep green color and elongated body allow it to blend perfectly with vines and leaves. It is neither venomous nor aggressive, although its fixed gaze and stylized figure can be intimidating. However, its true role is that of a silent hunter, keeping frogs, lizards, and small birds in check, helping maintain the natural balance of the ecosystem. Imagine a robot dog patrolling like a guardian of the future. It's called the Thermonator, and it's not exactly a pet to cuddle. And this clever device can walk, run, and even detect motion and heat in areas with low visibility. But what's most striking is that it's armed with a flamethrower, making it a kind of sci-fi sentinel. Thanks to its cameras and sensors, it monitors complex environments in real time, transmitting data while moving with agility over rough terrain. Can you imagine what it takes to clean the Burj Khalifa, the tallest skyscraper in the world? This titanic task can take up to 3 months, and no wonder. This glass giant faces strong winds, scorching heat, and constant desert dust, which seem like an invisible enemy. The brave cleaners hang with specialized equipment to reach its 24,000 panels, many of them in almost impossible areas, in a job that demands patience, precision, and a lot of courage to keep it sparkling. When in the Chinese city of Hangzhou, there is a building known as Regent International, home to a community of over 10,000 people. Although it was originally conceived to function as a luxurious 6-star hotel, it has now been transformed into a residential complex. This skyscraper, reaching 673 feet in height, contains more than 5,000 homes. In the island territory of Madeira, Portugal, there is the spectacular waterfall known as Cascata dos Anjos. This natural wonder descends from the top of a cliff right over the roadway, following its path to merge with the ocean. For travelers, crossing this route is truly unique and surprising. In Etzatlan, Jalisco, there is the world's largest woven pavilion, recognized by the Guinness World Records. On this impressive handcrafted work covers an area of 30,460 square feet and was made by 200 local artisans using colorful raffia. The creation process required 24,744 hours of work and had a total weight of 1,818 pounds. The tiger snake possesses a surprising skill. It can glide through the air, floating from tree branches. To do this, it flattens its body and makes undulating movements that allow it to glide from one point to another. This behavior helps it escape from predators or search for food elsewhere. Although it doesn't fly in the strict sense, its ability to move through the air makes it an expert glider. For the past 3 decades, a state in the United States has held a peculiar contest that awards the ugliest dog in the world. In the 2023 edition, the title was given to Scooter, a 7-year-old Chinese crested. This dog stands out not only for its unique appearance, but also for a disability in its hind legs. One of the most memorable scenes from Birdman was captured completely improvisationally. In it, Michael Keaton walks in a bathrobe through Times Square, surrounded by real pedestrians who didn't know a movie was being filmed. The team resorted to this technique because they didn't have the budget to close streets or hire extras. The origin of the name of the Canary Islands is not related to songbirds, as many assume. It comes from the Latin Canariae Insulae, which means island of dogs. This name dates back to an ancient Roman expedition that reported the presence of large animals in the area. The iconic Porsche 911 almost had a very different name than what it's known by today. Originally, the model was to be called the Porsche 901, but an unexpected obstacle arose. The French brand Peugeot had registered the exclusive right to use 3-digit combinations with a 0 in the middle for their cars. Due to this legal restriction, Porsche had to quickly modify the name, and thus the 911 was born. Prepare to discover a place straight out of a science fiction story. Underground, in Chihuahua, Mexico, there is a natural chamber known as the Cave of the Crystals. There, true gypsum giants can be found. Mineral structures so enormous that some measure up to 36 feet long and weigh more than 120,000 pounds. Let me introduce you to Thimphu, the capital of Bhutan, a place where modernity has not completely displaced local customs. This city is the only capital in the world that does not use traffic lights on its streets. On one occasion, they were installed, but the community rejected them for being impersonal. In response, they decided to maintain the tradition of having traffic officers who, with elegant and precise gestures, regulate movement at intersections. Before being the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan had a successful Hollywood career, acting in over 50 films between 1937 and 1964. In Knut Rockinen, All-American from 1940, he played an American football player and popularized the phrase, "Win one for the Gipper." In King's Row, a 1942 movie, he portrayed a young man facing the harshness of life in a small town before World War I. The Time Kettle headphones are revolutionizing the way we communicate regardless of language. Capable of translating up to 40 languages in real time, these headphones use advanced voice recognition technology for instant translation. They come equipped with built-in microphones that capture speech and translate it instantly, allowing for a smooth, barrier-free conversation. In Japan, robots are transforming the shopping experience by restocking products in supermarkets. These tireless workers ensure that the shelves are always full, no matter the time of day. Thanks to their efficiency, the dreaded empty spots on shelves are eliminated. In the 1950s, the U.S. government launched an investigation called Project Sunshine to study the effects of nuclear radiation, using cadavers. For years, body parts, especially from children, were stolen without family consent to be analyzed in secret laboratories. This theory was ridiculed until it was confirmed by official documents in 1994. And this toad was discovered in 2003, although it has been around for millions of years. It has a fat body, a small head, and a pointed snout. It spends almost its entire life underground and only comes out a few days a year to reproduce, just when the monsoons arrive. Its appearance is so strange that many initially thought it was a hoax. Pure design from deep India. Meet the vampire crab. This small crab has a shiny black body and yellow glowing eyes that look like two lit lanterns. It lives in damp caves and tropical forests, hidden among mist and dark streams. Despite its horror movie look, it is completely harmless and highly sought after by aquarium enthusiasts. Although honestly, it doesn't inspire much confidence when it stares at you. In certain historic buildings in Prague, the mythical paternoster elevators are still in operation. These elevators have no doors and never stop. They rotate continuously in a cycle, so to use them, one must get on or off with precision while they are moving. Sable is a narrow Canadian island located in the Atlantic Ocean, famous for its isolation and population of wild horses. Although it has no roads, permanent buildings, or stable inhabitants, this strip of land is home to between 200 and 500 horses living freely. The renowned automotive brand Lamborghini, famous for its luxury sports cars, took its first steps in the world of agricultural machinery. Surprisingly, the company still produces tractors, remaining firm in that sector. One notable example is the Spire BRT model, which incorporates innovations like fuel-efficient engines, high-precision hydraulic systems, and GPS technology for advanced agricultural tasks. The waterphone, an instrument created in 1968 by British musician Richard Waters, is known for its terrifying sounds. Made of stainless steel, it produces high and low tones depending on where it's touched, making it a perfect tool for creating tense atmospheres. This percussion instrument is essential in many horror films, adding an eerie feeling. In Dallas, the world's largest ice sculpture can be found, an impressive piece standing more than 30 feet tall. With its enormous size and detailed design, this sculpture has become a tourist magnet, capturing the attention of visitors from all over the globe. This adorable deep-sea inhabitant has two rounded fins on the sides of its head that look like ears, hence its name Dumbo octopus. It lives over 23,000 feet deep and, unlike its cousins, floats using its little ears to move gracefully through the absolute darkness. Despite living in one of the most extreme environments on Earth, it has a face that makes you want to adopt it as a pet. If you could, of course. Only a small percentage, around 8%, of global money circulates in tangible form, meaning bills and coins. The vast majority of capital is stored in digital formats, such as bank accounts, electronic platforms, and virtual currencies. The hens, which are female turkeys, have the ability to produce eggs that develop without the intervention of a male. This phenomenon, known as parthenogenesis, allows eggs to form and grow without fertilization, although this is not the common method of reproduction in these birds. Approximately 78% of New Zealand's territory remains uninhabited, according to population density data per square kilometer. In the whole country, which has a considerable size, only 5.2 million people live. Dolly Parton is not only a country music legend, but also a successful entrepreneur with her own theme park. Dollywood. Located in Tennessee, this park is a tribute to her life and career, combining the essence of country music with fun for the whole family. Imagine a future where electric highways, known as e-highways, become the ecological arteries for heavy transport. On these roads, hybrid trucks connect to aerial lines similar to those of trams, receiving electricity while moving and recharging their batteries with 73% efficiency. From the heights of New Guinea's mountains comes a bird straight out of a Gothic novel, the Dracula parrot, or Pesquet's parrot. Its striking black and red plumage, its featherless face, and that curved beak give it a unique and mysterious presence. About 18 inches in size and weighing around 1.5 pounds, this frugivorous species primarily feeds on figs, standing out for its appearance and unusual habits in the bird world. In India's train stations, there's a job that combines precision and risk, the train coupler. This person manually connects train carriages with special couplings, a task that requires absolute coordination and following strict protocols to avoid accidents. It's a dangerous job, but essential for trains to run safely and efficiently, showcasing a little-known yet vital aspect of railway transportation. From Japan comes an ancient technique that turns destruction into protection, shusugiban. This tradition involves carefully burning the surface of wood so that, paradoxically, it becomes more resistant. The charred layer protects it from insects, moisture, and the passage of time, while also giving it a spectacular finish somewhere between deep black and mysterious grays. Finally, the story of Ethel Granger, a British woman who became a legend for having the smallest waist in the world. Born in 1905, she wore extremely tight corsets from a young age, all leading to an astounding record, a 13-inch waist at its narrowest point. Her dedication to this body modification was so intense that she maintained the practice throughout much of her life, leaving an indelible mark on the history of extreme human body shapes. The batfish has bright red lips that look as if they've been painted with lipstick. It lives in the Galapagos Islands, and as if its look wasn't ridiculous enough, it doesn't swim well either. It walks along the ocean floor using its fins as legs. It hunts small prey while strolling as if it's strutting down the ocean floor, all dolled up. An Asian brand has dethroned one of the global giants of fast food. Mixu Ice Cream and Tea, a Chinese company specializing in ice cream and tea, reached an impressive 46,000 points of sale in 2025. This expansion placed it above McDonald's, which came in second with around 43,000 locations. Near Yonaguni Island in Japan, divers discovered a massive underwater structure with geometric shapes, straight columns, stairs, platforms, and corridors that seem to be made by humans. Some believe it is the Japanese Atlantis, a lost city destroyed by an earthquake more than 10,000 years ago. Others think it is a strangely perfect natural formation, the Philadelphia experiment, which according to dozens of witnesses took place in 1943. The U.S. Navy supposedly tried to make the USS Eldridge invisible to radar, but according to reports, the ship not only disappeared from the radar, but it literally vanished for a few seconds. When it reappeared, some crew members were fused with the ship's metal walls, others lost their sanity, and some were never seen again. In 1487, a Malleus Maleficarum was published, a book that served as the official guide to hunting witches, and its content was as ridiculous as it was terrifying. It claimed that if a woman did not cry during her trial, she was guilty. If she had moles, they were marks of the devil, If she dreamt of flying, she was a witch. It even stated that witches stole penises and kept them in magical boxes as pets. In Bangkok, Watanapanek restaurant's Noya tuna soup has been cooking for over 45 years without stopping. Every day, fresh meat, entrails, and spices are added, but part of the original broth is always kept, creating a deep and unique flavor. It's like an eternal stew that improves with the years, almost like a living culinary relic. The dengue detector, called Bzigo, uses computer vision to detect mosquitoes in real time and marks them with a red laser as if they were targets in a video game. This allows you to locate them before they bite, a futuristic ally against bites and diseases like dengue. Procter & Gamble created a prototype as curious as it is useful, a robot called Rollbot, which upon receiving a signal from an app, brings toilet paper directly to the bathroom. It works with Bluetooth and wheels, like a mini urgent delivery rescuer, the hero we all need when we're most vulnerable. The asperatus clouds, discovered officially in 2009, look like giant waves rolling in the sky, as if a furious ocean was floating above our heads. They're so unusual that they're still being studied, and it's not yet known for sure how they form. And the bee-stung dogs have gone viral for their swollen snouts after failed encounters with bees, looking like living cartoons. Although it is usually harmless, they should be monitored for allergies. That face of, "I'll never smell flowers again," has become a classic on social media. The world's most luxurious mask, created by Israeli jewelry brand Ival, was made for a Chinese businessman and is valued at $1.5 million. It has 250 grams of 18-karat gold, 3,608 natural diamonds, and an N99 filter, all in one piece weighing 0.6 pounds. High-level protection with a red carpet shine. Stargazy pie is a traditional dish from Cornwall, where sardines stick their heads and sometimes tails out of the crust as if gazing at the stars. Beneath the pastry lies a mix of potatoes, bacon, eggs, and a creamy mustard sauce. And on a recipe as tasty as it is unsettling to look at. During the 2014 Rally of Mexico, Thierry Neuville faced a radiator leak in his Hyundai just before the end. Without coolant and with the engine overheating, he and his co-driver improvised by pouring a Corona beer into the system. Surprisingly, it worked. They made it to the service and finished in third place. An electric wheelchair with a very futuristic design, capable of safely climbing stairs. Our BRO electric wheelchair goes up and down stairs and steps with just a touch of a button, taking you to your destination safely and without external help. The Alieno Unum is a Bulgarian hypercar that looks straight out of the future. It has 24 electric motors and can reach speeds of up to 363 miles per hour. It also incorporates air propulsion systems to improve performance and stability. It charges with electricity and also breathes air as part of its system. Did Halle Berry know Adrian Brody was going to kiss her at the Oscars? Not at all. Years later, she revealed that she thought, "What the heck is going on?" According to her, the kiss wasn't planned and clearly took her by surprise. A concert underwater? That's Aquasonic, and an amazing show by the Danish band Between Music. The musicians submerge in specially designed tanks to play handmade instruments and sing with unique microphones. They don't use diving equipment. They come up to breathe between songs. Everything is designed to recreate real water conditions, including the temperature. In Gibraltar, planes and cars share the road. The airport runway crosses a public road, and every time a plane takes off or lands, traffic stops as if a train were passing. In the low season, the wait might be 10 minutes, but in summer, better be patient. Boxing and chess in one sport? It exists, and it's called chess boxing. In this match, rounds of punches and lightning chess games alternate. You can win by knockout or checkmate, making it as mental as it is physical. It's played in a ring, with gloves, strategy, and a lot of concentration. That smell of wet earth that we love so much? It's called geosmin, and it's produced by soil bacteria when rain arrives. Our sense of smell detects it even in tiny amounts. It's like a natural signal that water's on the way. The pygmy seahorse is less than 0.8 inches long and is a camouflage master. It lives in the corals of Southeast Asia, perfectly blending with its surroundings. Its protuberances make it almost invisible among gorgonians. It's one of the smallest fish in the world and lives in groups of up to 20, a marine gem that's hard to find. Parahawking is an incredible mix of paragliding and trained birds of prey. Participants fly alongside falcons or vultures, following their instinct to find rising air currents. The birds lead the way in the sky, and humans follow. It's a flying experience guided by nature. The Xiaomi SU7 is the brand's first electric car, and it came out strong. It accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 1.7 seconds, combining power and technology. Its battery offers up to 497 miles of range, perfect for long trips. It was presented in 2021 and launched in 2024. A futuristic sedan that redefines mobility. In Tokyo, it's already common to see delivery robots carrying food along the sidewalks. Developed by Cartkin and Mitsubishi Electric, when Uber Eats uses them for deliveries. They measure just over half a meter, have 6 wheels, and can carry up to 44 pounds. They move at a calm but steady pace. The future is already being delivered to your door. In Taupo, New Zealand, there is a McDonald's inside a decommissioned Douglas DC-3 airplane. The dining room, with seating for 20, is one of the most unusual in the world and has been there for more than 3 decades. Drooling while sleeping indicates that the body is completely relaxed. Babies and children do it frequently, but as they grow older and become more stressed, this sign of deep rest often disappears. Some modern cars display how long it takes until a traffic light turns green. This is achieved by connecting to the city's traffic networks. In the future, this feature could be standard on all vehicles. Kowloon, known as the Beehive City, was a lawless walled city in Hong Kong. Up to 50,000 people lived on just 6 acres. It was demolished in 1993 for health reasons. The mask of silence reduces the sound of voices by up to 80%. Ideal for calls in noisy places, this invention is not yet widely marketed, but could be useful for holding private conversations. Most dogs have 5 toes on their front paws and 4 on their back paws. Some have an extra dew claw that serves no purpose. Dogs stand on their toes, unlike humans who stand with the entire sole of their foot. In Colombia, the El Muergano restaurant offers insults as part of its service. Waiters playfully abuse customers while serving food, which has turned the place into a viral phenomenon. The world's largest garden is located in Dubai. Called Miracle Garden, it contains more than 190 million flowers and is open between November and April. It includes a floral replica of an Airbus A380. Nakizumo is a Japanese festival where babies compete to cry. Parents and sumo wrestlers try to make the child cry as part of a tradition that wards off evil spirits and promotes health. Germany boasts more than 500 types of beer. It also celebrates Oktoberfest, the world's largest beer festival, where millions of liters of beer are consumed over more than 2 weeks. Paper bread is a Korean culinary trend, known for its extreme thinness and crunchy texture. Although it resembles a leaf, it is eaten as a snack or as an accompaniment to various recipes. Evzones are soldiers in the Greek Presidential Guard. They must be over 6 feet tall and be able to lift their leg to their shoulders as part of their rigorous ceremonial routine. The hydrofoiler is an electric bicycle capable of traveling through water at 12 mph. It uses a propeller powered by pedals and a motor, combining sport with green technology. A drone breaks records by reaching 217 mph. Its speed is comparable to that of a Formula One car and represents a major advance in aerial engineering. The Maldivian 1,000 rupee banknote stands out for its marine design. It includes patterns that mimic the skin of the whale shark and the shell of the green turtle. Many consider it one of the most beautiful banknotes in the world. The World Blind Football Championship is held every 4 years. Teams of 5 players compete with a ball containing bells, demonstrating inclusion and talent in this exciting sport. Chewing gum for an hour a day could help prevent baldness. It is believed to improve circulation in the scalp, which promotes hair growth. A curious yet simple method to try. In space, if you shout, "No one hears you," it's not just a dramatic phrase. Sound needs a medium like air to propagate, and in the vacuum of space, there's simply nothing to transmit it. In Japan, there is an island inhabited almost exclusively by cats. It's called Aoshima, and felines outnumber humans by more than 6 to 1. It's known as Cat Island. Raccoons are famous for washing their food before eating it, but they don't do it for cleanliness. In fact, this curious behavior comes from an ancestral instinct. Their ancestors hunted in rivers and developed the habit of manipulating food in the water. By wetting their paws, they also enhance their sense of touch. And that's all. Don't forget to subscribe for more Zarpado content.